What's up everybody, BA Smith 15 here. I posted a video up of me playing Jax in mid not too long ago, and I thought I would just go into a little more in depth about it, about which weapons I pick and all that. So to start off with, I'll get the Dorn Shield. It gives you 120 health, 10 armor, and 8 health regen. The reason I do that is, personally, I like the more health and the more armor, and when you are that low of a level, it will help you get your health back up quicker with that 8 health regen. So that's the reason I picked Dorn Shield. I know people are going to say, why don't you get the boots and the health regen potions, but honestly I'd rather get the Dorn Shield. With my type of gameplay, it helps a lot more. And for my second weapon, I would pick the Fag. The Fag gives you 225 health and 18 attack damage. The reason I picked the Fag is it gives you that much. It gives you a lot of health and it gives you some attack damage. And I know you'll get it around 7, 8, or 9, depending on how many times you kill the person you're up against, or all that stuff. But I would get the Fag second because I do like having a lot of health on Jax, and that extra attack damage really does help taking down your enemies and getting your money. Finally, the third item I would get is probably the first item most people would get, and that's the boots. Except I wouldn't get the boots that they recommend. I would just get the boots of mobility, and the reason I do that, it gives you +2 mobility. And then after 5 seconds of not being in battle, it'll give you +5. And that +5 really helps you catch up with your enemies and take them down. And being a ganker or a laner, it really does help, especially when you're ganking and you're chasing somebody down. It really does help, so you can jump on them, stun them, and take them out and get right out of the battle. For the fourth item, I will get the BF Sword. The BF Sword will give you +45 attack damage. And the reason I do that, it really does help a lot. The BF Sword, it's pretty expensive, but in the long run, it helps a bunch. And what it upgrades to is the Infinity Edge, and that's what I'll explain later. But right now, the BF Sword is my 4th pick, and that's because mid-game, it'll help a bunch. It'll help you clear out those lanes, it'll help you get those kills, and it'll help your team to victory. The 5th item I'll get is the Frozen Mallet. The Frozen Mallet is the upgrade from the Fag. It'll give you +700 health, +20 attack damage, and it'll slow down your target 40%. And when you mix the Frozen Mallet and the Boots of Mobility, it helps a bunch, because the Frozen Mallet will slow them down and the Boots of Mobility will keep you up with them and give you 2 hits per run. So doing that, you can stun them, and +700 health, that's a bunch. That helps out so much, especially when you are the level you are when you get it, which is about 14 or so, and 700 health, and then just that little bit more attack damage. It really helps. The 6th item I'll get is Warmog's Armor. Most people actually do not get Warmog's Armor for Jax, and I personally love Warmog's Armor. It'll give you +900 health and +20 health regen every 5 seconds. It is 3,000 gold, but it is definitely worth it. You will be very tanky, but you will be able to do a lot of damage. And that's the one thing I love about Warmog's Armor. You will get a bunch of health, and you can tank a lot of people, and you will be able to get those kills that you do want. The 7th weapon I'll get is the Infinity Edge. That's upgrading the BF Sword, and it upgrades the attack damage to 70 attack damage and 25% chance for critical strike. Now, it is pretty expensive, but once again, it's well worth it. And even though it is expensive, you have Warmog's Armor and you have those other weapons that will help you get the kills, which it actually does not take that long to get the money if you think about it. So that's why I go with Infinity Edge instead of a different sword. The 8th item I would get is a Bilgewater Cutlass, and the Bilgewater Cutlass gives you +35 attack damage and +15 health steal. Now the reason I do this is the health steal, it goes along with your Warmog's Armor. The Warmog's Armor will give you +20 health regen every 5 seconds, and the Cutlass will give you 15% health steal. And when you're, say, half down on your health, you can go ahead and attack some minions, and you'll get your health back with that sword, and then plus that 20 health regen every 5 seconds. It is slightly expensive, but it's worth it, because after that you will upgrade your Bilgewater's Cutlass to another weapon. The 9th and final item I get is the Hextech Gunblade. The Hextech Gunblade is an upgrade from the Cutlass. It also has 15% lifesteal. It gives you 70 attack ability and 40 attack damage. Now, it gives you that much attack damage, which is awesome for your basic attacks and for your Q and W skills. But the attack ability, it goes with your elite, which will have you do crazy damage, which helps a bunch, especially at late game when there's team fights and not individual fights usually. So that's why I get the Hextech Gunblade, the upgrade from the Cutlass. So at the end of it all, you're going to have plus 1,740 health, plus 140 attack damage, and 28 health regen. The health, it helps a bunch, and going with a bunch of health, it really does help with Jax. At least with me it does, because I like getting in the action. I like taking out those guys. And, you know, with that much health, you'll be able to take out 2 or 3 guys before you die, or you'll be able to take out 1 and survive and come back for another battle. So, and that attack damage helps you get those kills. And the health regen, it's pretty low, but that's okay, because you do have enough health where you can go ahead and have low health regen. Some characters do need high health regen, but Jax is not one of them, in my opinion. It's really up to you. One thing I want to point out real quick, the Dorn Shield, it is a platform item, so you can sell it. Depending on what you want your character to be, you can have him have more health and armor, which will make him more tanky and be able to take more damage, or you can get him something that will give him more attack damage. Now, I would honestly take the more health and armor, because I'd rather take more hits, and with Jax, he's already doing quite a bit of damage in a small amount of time. So I would take the armor and the health personally. It's up to you, but if this tutorial helped you guys, just go ahead and comment, rate, and subscribe, and I will have more on Teemo and Akali here soon. I'll have a gameplay of Teemo here up real soon. I'm working on the video, so thank you guys very much.